Welcome, everyone, to NBA Friday, presented by State Farm. The Los Angeles Clippers and the Los Angeles Lakers ready to squabble up. It's a turf battle tonight, but a little bit of a new twist. This is where the Clippers call home currently. 8.1 miles away is where they used to call home for 25 years. They shared the crib with the Los Angeles Lakers, but no more. That's the new twist in this battle of Los Angeles between the Lakers and the Clippers, where the name on the marquee always matters. And that's been the name here for several years, LeBron James. But he has a new partner. Luka Doncic will be playing his 7th game in a Laker uniform, going against James Harden and the Los Angeles Clippers. Harden looking very much in all-star form all year in his leadership role for the Clippers. Let's take a look at the standings and take some inventory. Los Angeles Lakers have won 4 consecutive games. The Clippers are trying to keep the Golden State Warriors off their heels, just a game up on them in the loss column. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Jones, courtside, along with Corey Alexander. George Sedano joining us in just a bit. Let's start with the Lakers. They've won 4 consecutive games, partner. And when the trade was made for Luka Doncic, many people wondered, what would the chemistry look like? Well, so far, the results have been pretty good.
Well, they wondered about the chemistry because Luka and LeBron, of course, play so similarly. And when you look at the numbers, both these guys filled the stat sheet over the last 3 games in every category. But you see the 8 assists from Luka Doncic because LeBron James has become much more of a finisher now with Luka in fold. Running, getting the spot, stealing, finishing off like a big man, and of course shooting the 3 at a high rate the longer he's gotten throughout his career. But running the floor and finishing has been a specialty for Bron, and of course always been able to finish right around the rim.
The inscrutable LeBron James still doing it at 40+. Meanwhile, as we take a look at tonight's Fresh Take brought to you by Subway, James Harden is looking very much like the old James Harden, not an old James Harden.
And James Harden took a fresh take on this season when you consider the leadership that he provided for this group, being involved in all of the summer work, the conditioning. Ty Lue said he's taken that extra step to be a leader for this year's team, and his production is showing it. An all-star again this season with the Clippers.
Certainly is. As we take a look at tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by T-Mobile. Harden and Dunn in the backcourt. Dunn, a wizard defensively. Jones Jr., Leonard, and Zubac on the floor for the Clippers. Doncic and Reeves in the backcourt for the Lakers. LeBron, Dorian Finney-Smith making his 7th start this season for the Lakers, and Jackson Hayes starting at the 5 for LA. Lakers playing the second night of a back-to-back. Winning just 24 hours ago here at Crypto.com, and we are underway. The Clippers and Harden bring it across. They go to Zubac down low. He's having a career season. Good denied defense on the wing by Finney-Smith. Knocks it out of bounds with 11 on the shot clock.
But you see the emphasis by Ty Lue early, get the basketball inside the Zubac, but immediately J.J. Redick bringing the double team. Of course, Ty Lue expecting to see that throughout this game with Zubac.
Zubac sets a good screen for Harden. Those two with wonderful chemistry. The float game by Harden a little bit strong, and it comes off to Leonard. Leonard drills the 3, and that's a good sign for him because the Clippers overall are 11-6 when he's on the floor this year.
And he's shooting his best 3-point percentage of his career here this year, doing a great job knocking the shot down from beyond the arc and gets off to an early start.
And of course, defensively, that's what he does. He blows up other teams' half-court offenses. Creates the turnover. Dunn, unguarded, little baseline floater is pure. And the Clippers off to a 5-0 lead.
And Jonesy, you mentioned earlier a back-to-back for the Lakers. Although they were at home, both LeBron and Luka playing 38, 37 minutes last night respectively. So got to keep an eye on that.
Jackson Hayes with a punch. And he said that with his chest. Jackson Hayes, much scrutinized as the guy in the middle after that aborted trade between the Lakers and the Hornets. Done off the chin cut. Here's Leonard. Good help by Hayes. Shot clock below 10. Finney-Smith on Harden. Into the corner. Dunn drives it again. Out to Leonard on the kick. And another 3 is good by Kawhi.
You can see Kawhi Leonard dealing with injuries. He put a lot of work in beyond the arc. You see holding that follow through, squaring it up every time has been successful already twice from beyond the three.
Doncic underneath, Corey. Back out to Finney-Smith, 10 on the shot clock. Luka relocates against Zubac and left that on the front rim. Clippers in transition. Leonard spins and fires. We had a great look at, here's LeBron. James coming off a big night last night, 33 points, 17 rebounds, 6 dimes in 37 minutes. Reeves got a fortuitous bounce. You talk about guys having a career season right now. Reeves continuing to grow his role on this team as well.
And Reeves has been really the perfect complement to LeBron and Luka, especially when you consider he's a playmaker as well.
That's going to be a foul against Doncic. His first personal foul.
And Austin Reeves off an assist from LeBron. Confident steps in and gets the home bounce, even though there have been a couple of shots already made by the Clippers. You think this is a familiar, a familiar place for them? Play here 25 seasons. You know, Kawhi played a lot of games in this building.
Hey, man, it's 36 minutes in notorious Los Angeles traffic from the Intuit Dome, their new home to Crypto.com here. Zubac's got a nice auspicious bounce.
And that's one of the things Ty Lue wanted to see from Zubac. Go quickly. Don't allow the double team to get there, especially if you catch it in the middle of the paint. Don't allow the Laker defenders to come over and take you out of the look.
I'm with you, Corey. They know these rims really well. Another good bounce and a great slot cut that time by Doncic.
And let's pay attention to that, Jonesy. Luka getting a layup early off a cut. Didn't wait beyond the three-point arc, but sees one go through. That can absolutely help him from shooting from distance.
Harden sprays it out to the corner for 3. That's Jones Jr. knocking down another 3 ball. The Clippers up by 6. Doncic in the front court celebrating his 26th birthday today. And Chris Dunn giving him a little forearm as a birthday present and gift. That's going to be his first personal foul.
But you love watching Chris Dunn play. He's not switching those screens. He's going to fight through. That's old school basketball. Get that top foot over the defender and be able to get in there and knock them off their line.
Ty Lue made him a starter some 15 to 20 games into the season and hasn't been able to take him off the floor since. Off the miss. Here come the Clippers again. Dunn into the front court. Into the lane. The float game is good, and Chris Dunn with a feathery touch makes it 15-7.
And the degree of difficulty there, getting it over top of the high leaping Jackson Hayes makes it even more special.
Reeves off the Finney-Smith screen. One and done for the Lakers. Harden against Reeves. Harden with the floater, and that's good. Man, they are taking shoot-around 10 a.m. morning practice shots here on a 7-0 run.
James Harden has it going, not only dropping dimes, but also dropping it from the roof. All net for a 10-point lead.
Los Angeles between the Lakers and Clippers. And happy birthday, Luka Doncic, his 26th birthday today for the 5-time first-team All-NBA player. Look at this particular graphic on where he ranks on the all-time scoring list before the age of 26. The likes of Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Tracy McGrady, etc. When I spoke to J.J. Redick, his head coach today, he's played with him in the past 4 years ago, now coaching him. I asked him if there's any difference between then and now, and he said, not really. He's the same guy, and that's the beauty of Luka. It's the beauty of the joy of being around Luka is that he's always the same guy. And I did get one note about his birthday. Austin Reeves, Jonesy, and Corey told me there could be some cake in the future after this one tonight.
Oh, dropping. I got to follow the breadcrumbs on that one. That's a huge clue, George. I'm trying to crack the mystery here, but I do know that, you know, he's been dealing with a lot, the young man, lately, and had a great visit with his dad, Sasha, yesterday. You know, coming off the calf injury, getting over the trade, finding a new place to call home, a new residence, and chemistry with his teammates as Austin Reeves knocks down the long jump shot to make it a 7-point game. A lot of moving parts in the 26-year-old's life right now, but he has poise beyond his years.
He absolutely does. And Jones, we saw the graphic. If you take into account the fact that Luka has missed, and I'm estimating 96 games. It was 91 during the trade. I believe he's missed 5 because of during this time here in LA. At his career average, he's missing about 2,500 points.
Wow.
If he plays those games similar to a lot of those guys did on that graphic, he's behind LeBron. And remember, LeBron came out of high school.
Right. Luka misfiring on the three.
So Bron coming out of high school, he had a year advantage. Luka had to be 19 before he could even come over and play in the NBA.
Great pocket pass there by Harden to Zubac. You know, their chemistry really is a great story. It goes back to last year when Harden was first acquired by the Clippers. He said, Zubac, I need you to stay after practice and work on some pick and roll, some pick and pop, our pocket passes. And that grew to not only daily after practice, but every day. And it became a thing as LeBron counters with a three. You talked about Harden's leadership, and that's an example of it.
It really is, and that's one of the things and James Harden is probably, you know, he's in the conversation for the best combo guards in the history of the game. He can play the point as well as anyone, has led the league in assists multiple times. But when you consider that's the area where he's really improved later in his career is from the maturity standpoint.
Luka moving his feet well against Harden, and they got the turnover. 6-point lead for the Clippers. Past the midway point of this opening quarter. Lakers looking for their 5th consecutive win. James got Zubac on an island vacation and couldn't cash out.
How much of an advantage is to have a 7-footer like Zubac who can actually get out there and slide his feet with one of the best to ever lace them up when you consider being able to stop LeBron James on the opportunity.
Chris Dunn with an easy one at the rim, got the second one to go.
Is that a little?
Chris Dunn with 6.
Is that padding the stats though?
Yeah, is
that making sure he got an offensive rebound and the put back on that one? He didn't take away assists from anybody.
He's already hit his season average of 6 points per game. Doncic misfiring on another 3. And here's Chris Dunn, arguably one of the top 2 on-ball defenders in the game. Jones for 3.
Jones, it was just over a year ago that George and I were at the G League Winter Showcase calling Chris Dunn's games there before Christmas, and now you see him as a starter fighting against LeBron James in the post.
Good ball movement by the Lakers. Cross court to James. One more to Finney-Smith, and he left it short. Everything but the bucket that time for the Lakers, who right now are shooting 39% from the field. Harden walks into the 3. Got his own rebound. And matched up against Luka again.
Dribbling to that dead man's corner, but James Harden's ability to be able to see.
Oh, Jones elevates through the contact, got it back. Harden for 3. And a little bit strong. James Harden had one of his best shooting games of the season a couple of nights ago. At 30 in that victory on the road against the Bulls, including 7 3-pointers. And that's going to be a foul against an overzealous Chris Dunn. But one more look at the great chemistry between James Harden and Zubac.
And it's not always at the rim. These two have the league-leading number 71 at the rim throughout this year, but the combination of the two of them, even the bounce pass, the pocket passes, when you drop it off to a 7-footer, you've got to have a tremendous trust that he's going to take care of business, as Zubac does, and leading the Clippers to an 8-point lead.
App to get latest scores. Follow your favorite team and players and go behind the scenes all in one place. Get the NBA app today, the better way to NBA. Bogdanovic coming into the ball game for the Clippers along with Ben Simmons and Amir Coffey. Harden on Luka. Back out to Gabe Vincent, who just checked in for the Lakers. Doncic with the offensive rebound. Double teamed in the corner. Good help there by Ben Simmons. 5 on the clock for Reeves. And it's rebounded by Simmons.
And Ben Simmons could absolutely add to the pace of this Clippers team when you consider his ability to rebound the basketball, push it, and make plays, which can allow James Harden really to be off of the basketball some. And you mentioned James' shooting effort last time out. Ty Lue told us he had 7 catch-and-shoot threes, which he doesn't get off, right?
The result of Simmons being a presence on the floor and a little bit of playmaking gravity as Nicholas Batum comes into the ball game for Kawhi Leonard. Leonard will sit down 2 of 3 from the field. He has 6 points. And this just his 18th game of the season with the Clippers. The Clippers obviously playing the long game with him, Corey, hoping that when the plane lands in the middle of April at the end of the regular season. He's ready to go. And there's going to be a foul underneath.
And Trey Jemison actually rooting Batum under the basket and then being able to pick up the offensive rebound. Jemison getting early minutes throughout this one. We know about the lack of size for the Lakers, so Trey getting minutes early in this game is able to come up with another possession on the offensive glass.
That's a third-team foul against the Clippers. The Lakers with one. Under 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Doncic with the tween and cross. Vanderbilt driving the baseline. Batum almost had a steal, and now 3.5 to go on the clock for the Lakers.
And that's when deflections really matter. When you can do it, and of course you have a short shot clock to deal with on underneath out of bounds.
Doncic from the corner. Got it.
Guess it didn't matter in that case, however.
Luka coming into the ball game shooting just 38% from the field as a Laker. Still trying to find his rhythm. Here's Harden. Doncic with 5. Harden. Oh, whistle, and that's going to be a foul called against Doncic. Zach Zarba making the call.
Luka, of course, one of the best end of shot clock bucket getters that we've seen, especially in recent history. And again, knowing that there's no thought process to that one. Just come off, catch it, you get any look, just let it fly. Oftentimes the easiest shots that you're going to have in the game. But you talked about Luka's shooting percentage. 1 of 9 from 3 last night, and the only three that he made was a one-legged falling out of bounds 3 that, of course, even had his dad's socks, as you were mentioning, throwing up the three-point field goal sign. But that's really been a struggle for him throughout his time in the Laker uniform, is the way he shot from beyond the arc.
And Corey, that was his second foul, so he'll get a breather. James comes back into the ball game. And interesting, you and I had a great conversation in our production meeting with our producer Ian Kruka earlier today with George about James Harden and Luka Doncic. They're like that Spider-Man meme. They look at each other and almost see each other in the mirror with their styles.
They absolutely do. When you consider both have been guys who have really dominated the ball, they're elite level passers and high level scorers, and neither one of them have ever really taken much of an interest in doing the job defensively. Right. So they're very similar from the way they play the game, and they have very similar production. People forget James Harden was first team All-NBA 6 out of 7 years in Houston.
Those 50-point triple doubles weren't that long ago. Simmons over to Bogdanovich. Got it back from Harden. Bogdanovich had arguably his best game as a Clipper offensively a couple of nights ago in that win against Chicago. That's the second turnover for the Clippers.
And J.J. Redick absolutely loves that. Trey Jemison sliding his feet, forcing the turnover, being able to guard man-to-man against Bogdanovich, which allows them the ability to be able to switch on the defensive end.
Out of the horn set, Bogdanovich going to try and stick LeBron here. 10 on the shot clock. James on the sticks. LeBron drives 2, and Vanderbilt got fouled on that cut. And we'll go to the free throw line for a couple of shots.
0.1 remaining on the shot clock. And again, not great spacing. However, Vando doesn't want to be out beyond the three-point arc. So is already cutting for an offensive board. And Bron, with the ability to be able to find him in tight spaces, allows him to get to the free throw line.
Well, this Clipper defense is number 2 in defensive rating. And no surprise that Jeff Van Gundy is running Ty Lue's defense. Jeff, a constant voice and presence on the sidelines. Doing great work with that squad. And this is a tough team to get buckets against.
It really is, and you got to applaud Jeff Van Gundy for what he's brought to this team. Remember, he was a part of the world champion Boston Celtics organization a season ago, which, of course, we know how they get after defense.
Coffee from the corner. All purple jerseys for the defensive rebound as we approach a minute to go in the opening quarter. James shooting 40% from deep this year. Off the mark, and a nice putback for the bucket.
It's the second offensive rebound by Jemison, backing Batum under the basket. And right now, we talk about the Lakers' lack of depth and size, but with Zubac off the floor, they're actually bigger than are the Clippers.
And Simmons roaming in that dunker spot on the kick out. Amir Coffey tries another one. Comes off to Vanderbilt, and here's LeBron James. Oh, Harden with a nice steal. Quick hands.
Is he going to dunk it, though?
No, man.
No.
legs.
Well, you remember last year, James got a dunk, and it went viral.
Yeah.
Everybody was talking about, oh, you can still dunk. So James going with the smooth layup on that one, but he'll take the 2 regardless.
Clippers back up by 3. Harden, 2 of 5 from the field, got 6 points. About a 2-second difference between the shot and game clock. James with the flat ball screen on the pick and pop gets it with 6 to go on the shot clock. On the cross, got to the rim and got the layup. Boy, the indomitable LeBron James with another field goal. He's got 7 in the ball game, but 2 with the miss. And the Lakers pulled to within 1 at the end of the first 12 minutes. Back with more right after this.
Welcome back to NBA Friday, presented by State Farm. We're here with Clippers head coach Ty Lue. Ty, you didn't seem happy about the way that first quarter ended. What went wrong there?
I can't say it, but we got to be better. Like, we got to understand that they have guys on the floor that are not great shooters. We got to be in shrink positions. You can't give LeBron James a lane to the basket like that. So we just got to be better closing out the quarters.
Defensively, you guys are one of the best teams in the league. How do you approach when Doncic and James are on the floor together?
Just try to switch, try to make them stagnant, try to make them play one-on-one against, our bigs, and just see what it looks like. Then we can always adjust. But overall, defensively, I probably did a good job.
Ty, good luck. Thank you for the time. All right, guys, back to you.
Georgie's not going to like that result. LeBron James with the and 1, and this is going to be the first Laker lead of the ballgame for him.
He absolutely will not be happy about this. Off of the set action, LeBron James getting downhill, getting Ben Simmons in the air, the pump fake and the finish. And, of course, those 2 guys spend a lot of time together in the summer working out. We just saw great Rich Paul walk by, dap us up earlier. So Rich represents both guys well.
Ben Simmons, an interesting acquisition for the Los Angeles Clippers, has been given new life here under Ty Lue. He basically said, hey, I want you to get paint touches. And when you get into the paint with 2 feet, I need you to be able to finish there. Simmons giving them a little bit of versatility offensively and defensively. He's an all-defensive player. Nobody's stopping Gabe Vincent that time, though.
You want to talk about shrinking the floor. Ty Lue mentioned it, but the Lakers are doing it. They are packing the paint, forcing the Clippers to be able to beat them from beyond the 3-point arc. And outside of Kawhi Leonard, who's off on that one, they really haven't been able to get anybody going from beyond the arc.
Gordon brings it across and hands it to LeBron. Just underway here in the second quarter. Vincent with the screen, and James has Bogdanovich on him. Gordon with the 3 from the wing, rebounded, got it right back after carrying. Boy, you talk about lucky bounces.
And that's one of the areas where the Lakers have been able to exploit early in this game. We thought it would be the Clippers who would do the job on the offensive glass, but the Lakers have the advantage early.
Bogdanovich with a sweet move, sprays it to Kawhi on the wing. Bogdanovich relocates. Goodwin inside, Simmons with the finish. Goodwin got beat defensively. And Simmons with his first bucket. Speaking of finishing,
Bogdanovich makes the right play there, but as he goes over, running back down the floor, Zubac is telling him to shoot it.
Goodwin lost the handle.
The Lakers defensively, look at all the purple jerseys and the way they're moving, but look at all of them in the paint, forcing Amir Coffey right into traffic. And then, of course, LeBron James finding Gabe Vincent, who's able to turn the defense into offense.
Simmons brings it across. Bogdanovich pulls the 3 behind the screen. Comes off the Coffey, loose ball out to Leonard. Kawhi inside Zubac. Set that with his chest.
Now they showed right there's only one 7-footer on the floor. And he showed his advantage in height and strength and ability to go over the top and finish strong.
He's got 6 in the ball game. LeBron with a rhythm dribble preceding the long 2. He's got 11.
Jones, I want to give Bron a shout out. We talk about him, of course, but the way that he has improved his shooting I mean, this is year 22. He's the best shooter now that he's ever been throughout his career. When you consider the way that he's continued to work on his game, you got to show him a lot of love. We know about the working on his body, longevity, etc. But the way he's improved his shooting, that's where I have to take my hat off.
Consummate pro. Working against Bogdanovic right now. Already in double digits. Boy, that looked like a USA against Serbia flashback right there. LeBron with another bucket. Bogdanovic looking for a little get back at the other end. Quick skip pass to Coffey. Boy, Amir Coffey having a tough time connecting from deep.
And that was a great defensive effort by Jared Vanderbilt, getting out there and contesting that shot, not allowing Coffey to get an easy look.
James got Bogdanovic in the air, and we'll go to the free throw line for a couple more.
We talked about the King continuing to develop his game. So what, he's 40 years old.
Yeah.
He continues to improve, adding the mid-range and then the soft touch going off the bounce, using the glass. Now at the free throw line, continuing to add to what has been an unbelievable stat line at age 40.
You go into our meetings with coaches and you look for words to try and describe what the all-time leading scorer has done in his career. And one that I came up with for LeBron, and I thought about inscrutable, which is defined as impossible to understand or interpret, especially when you look at his resume and the numbers.
I'm just glad you gave the definition, because I had no idea what that meant.
You went to Virginia, man.
Yeah, but I'm more of a math guy than I am. You're the wordsmith, my man.
LeBron just passing Michael Jordan for 40-year-olds on the scoring list as Bogdanovic knocks down the short jump shot.
Ty Lue talked about how competitive Bogdanovic was. That's what he loved most about him, bringing him in. We know what he can do offensively, but he didn't know he was this much of a competitor. Well, he probably didn't know this summer when he was actually coaching against them.
Tell you what, Serbia had USA down by 17 because of Bogdanovic's work. Good defense there on James. Connecting from the corner.
Dalton Knecht, who was 0 for 2 last night, didn't get a bucket to go, and in a tough spot. When you talk about being a rookie and getting traded and then the trade rescinded, having to come back and still try to fit into a new role with the team. But give Dalton Knecht a lot of credit, because J.J. Redick still has a lot of trust in him.
James drops it off to Knecht. He's down there in the dunker spot. Looked like he got caught by surprise there, Corey, as Luka will come back into the ball game for LeBron.
And Bron wanting this rest. You see, asking to come out, was looking forward to seeing Luka. A little bit winded going off, but when you consider what he's already done throughout this game, in a back-to-back 15 points in 15 minutes, I believe the King deserves a bit of a break.
And big time. On One Piece night, theme night here in Los Angeles, Crypto, he is hitting gear 5 already.
You said One Piece night?
Yeah, it's a...
Do the One Pieces have feet? Do they, I mean, we going full pajamas with the footies?
Yeah. Oh, you know. And Knecht already knows. The lead is up to 9 for the Lakers with 7:17 to play in the half. Ruling the court brought to you by Burger King. LeBron James, 27.7 points per game average in 301 second of a back-to-back games. Just let that land on you for a moment, folks. He's played in about 90% of back-to-backs during his 21 seasons. That is incredible.
It absolutely is. And if anything gets you more respect from the old school than that, when you play in 9 out of 10 back-to-backs, I mean, everyone understands how difficult it is to play in one NBA game, but to do it twice in a span of, 48 hours, that's asking a lot. But that's one of the reasons why LeBron is regarded so highly amongst his peers, but more importantly, amongst the guys who came before him, because he shows up on the second night of those back-to-backs.
And he's played in all 7 back-to-backs this year, done with the thievery, and gets the slam at the other end. 8 points for Chris Dunn, and picking up Doncic full court. Off the screen inside. Ball knocked away, then retrieved. Finney Smith calls for the screen from Knecht. Doncic does. Knecht up top. That one comes off, and Finney Smith tipped it home. Jemison with the miss. The lead is back up to 9. Clippers have missed their last 11 three-pointers in a row.
He got off to a great start, but Kawhi Leonard knocking down the first 2.
They're showing him 2 bodies, and he turns it over. Luka with a great anticipation. Connect, raising up, couldn't finish. Vincent inside to Doncic. In a crowd, got it.
And Luka Doncic getting in the passing lane, coming up with the steal. That's one area defensively where he's been really good. 1.9 steals a game for Luka, which is 3rd in the NBA as Zubac continues to show off that soft touch.
Beats the Zubac. A perfect 4 for 4 from the field. Goodwin left wide open. Defers to Doncic.
I love this matchup, Jonesy. Both these guys uncharacteristically strong for their size. Going at it, going to play a little back to the basket.
Harden swiped at it. Luka kept the ball safe. And done with yet another larcenous bit of activity. Comes up with the steal. Dunn off the spray. Got it! Chris Dunn. Second to none offensively right now, with 11 points leading the way.
And Dunn making his presence felt on both ends of the floor. You see the way the Clippers defense has ratcheted up with him back on the court.
Jamison with an easy roll to the bucket.
Bogdanovich not getting all the way over to be able to take away Jamison, forcing to be able to kick it out, allowing him to get right to the rim for the easy.
Lakers lead us at 8. Relatively silent night for Harden offensively as he turns it over. 2-on-1 for the Lakers. Luka with that deceleration layup. Got it, and Ty Lue calls timeout as the lead swells back up to double digits. Doncic with 9 in the game.
Is the decel, is a Euro stop? All we know, it is a bucket for Luka Doncic, who has figured out a way to be successful. Hasn't shot it great, but still helping his team to a 10-point lead.
Welcome back to Los Angeles. The Lakers leading by 10 here against the Clippers. We have a Lakers injury update. After the first 9 minutes of the first quarter, Austin Reeves went back to the locker room. Guys, he has right calf soreness and will not return to tonight's game, Jonesy.
Wow. And George, this is a team already missing Rui Hachimura. Clippers, meanwhile, tonight without Norman Powell, their leading scorer. Kawhi Leonard on the JOB, though. He's up to 8 after that mid-range jump shot.
Yeah, that's what we get used to seeing Kawhi in the mid-range. And, of course, that doesn't have a high arc on the shot, but normally hits the back of the rim and goes down. He's been great in the mid-range his entire career.
Doncic out to connect. That one comes off to Zubac. Knocked away. Goodwin underneath with the reverse off the steal.
Goodwin plays much bigger than his 6'4" frame. You see taking the basketball away from Zubac with the ball over his head and is able to lay it in over the 7-footer.
Undrafted out of St. Louis. Kawhi off the mark. Zubac tried to get it, had it knocked away. Here's Doncic. Doncic off the screen. Zubac switches onto him. That can be lethal. Not this time. Goodwin inside, one more. Boy, Hayes tried to make the extra pass, goes out of bounds. And LeBron will check back into the ball game for Goodwin, who had a good stint in there for J.J. Redick.
And Goodwin finding a role with the Lakers. Played 13 minutes last night, and he's the guy that J.J. Redick can really rely on to bring that energy off the bench. Speaking of off the bench, Jones, everyone that has come into the game off the bench for the Lakers has a positive plus-minus throughout this game. Wow. That is really where they took advantage of the Clippers in using their depth.
Harden with a contested 3. He makes those. If you don't already know, Harden with the 3. He's up to 9 for the ball game.
Amazing that it really wasn't celebrated. We didn't hear about when he became the second all-time leading three-point maker. Now over 3,100 threes in his career, only trailing Steph Curry.
LeBron with the rhythm dribble and another jumper. 17 for James. The lead back up to 9. Right now they are just dissecting that number 2 rated Clipper defense. Connect with his welcome to the NBA moment, guarding Harden. Harden will go to the free throw line for a couple of shots. His 3rd and 4th of the night.
This is a sight that we've seen for so long. James Harden, to quote my man Mark Jones, playing with this fool and then dropping the step back. LeBron James on the other end, getting to the mid-range, that rhythm in the left hand, a little hezzy, and then raising up from the mid-range over top of a defender no matter how tall they are.
Harden coming off a good game against Chicago in that win. He had 30. As we take a look at the upcoming national TV schedule, tomorrow on ABC, Warriors and Sixers at 8:30, Sunday on ABC. Nuggets Celtics at 1 Eastern, over on NBA TV. Trailblazers Cavs at 3:30. And on Tuesday, a doubleheader on TNT, Warriors Knicks at 7:30, followed by Clippers Suns. For more on these games, please go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. And what about Warriors Sixers tomorrow? The Warriors, you saw Steph last night, right?
Yeah,
I was at dinner last night, got an alert on my phone from Ian Gruka, our producer, who said Steph is on one. You might want to pull out your phone and watch some of it. Not some of that 56 piece.
And we should have known because it was February 27th.
Okay. Okay.
February 27th will become known as Steph Curry Day when you consider he's had 3 games on the date, over 45 points.
Hayes inside, Coffee with the foul. Good look by LeBron. These are real numbers, folks. That third quarter against the Magic, he actually scored 20. I mean, those scoring barrages, those flurries, are still one of those things of beauty that you live to watch.
And he is getting very, very close to 4,000 three-point field goals made.
Tell me about the fit with Jimmy Butler. What do you make of it so far?
It's a
7-1 with him.
Well, and part of it is because you have to pay so much attention to Jimmy. Right. Because Jimmy can get to the free throw line, he gets to the lane, he can make plays as well as anyone. And you know very well, we haven't seen the best Jimmy, because that happens after April 13th. When the regular season ends and we get to playoffs and we see playoff Jimmy, that is the best version of Jimmy Butler III. So it's going to be interesting to see how Steph's production steps up in the playoffs this year.
That game on ABC tomorrow. Good steal, low man help from Luka. Finney Smith, Dodo with the slam. Those two former teammates in Dallas hooking up. That's the first bucket of the ball game. Pardon me, the second field goal for Finney Smith.
And J.J. Redick told us that it is no coincidence that their defense picked up when Dodo joined their squad, and having the relationship with Luka absolutely helps.
Well, what a pass by Harden, threading the needle to Zubac to get it back to a 6-point game. James was 17 in the first half. He hunts Zubac on the switch. Hayes with the tough catch. 7 on the shot clock for Doncic. Luka against Jones, a good on-ball defender. And Coffee with the foul on the help. Didn't really need to there, Corey.
No, he really bailed him out on that possession. But you talked about the pass of James Harden and getting into the painted area where he has lived throughout his career. We talk about his three-point shooting, but also an elite passer drops it off with Zubac. Those two have the most assist combos throughout in the NBA this year, coming into the game with 123, 50 of those dunks, but 123 far above second place, which is Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren.
7-point ball game. Doncic knocks down the first foul shot. He's up to 10 on 4 of 10 from the field.
Jonesy, last night, the combination of Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and LeBron James made 26 free throws. The Timberwolves shot 26 free throws. That's where they won the game. They didn't shoot the basketball well, but they went to the free throw line and took advantage of their opportunities. Those 3 guys alone had just as many as the Wolves.
Lakers will get to the free throw line even more with Luka, as Chris Dunn is on a heater tonight. For Chris Dunn, 14 points in the ball game, leading the way for the Clippers. They're back to within 5. Boy, Chris Dunn has found money this year for the Clippers, and he's putting money on tape. Doncic working against Zubac. Tough midi. Hayes kept it alive, but it went to Coffee. And here's Chris Dunn. Now Harden will bring it across. Dunn has already tied his season high. There's about a 5-second difference between the shot and game clock. Harden is going to go to work here against Goodwin.
And look at the Lakers zoning up defensively.
Sidestep 3 off the mark. Jones with the rebound, raising up. Hayes with the block. And James didn't have enough room to launch it. He ran into Goodwin. And that's the end of the first half of play. The Lakers lead being whittled down to 5. James with 17, Doncic with 11. Coming up on the halftime, presented by Hyundai, Donovan Mitchell with an epic performance in Boston at TD Garden. Malika, Stephen A, Shanae, and Big Perk in the studio, breaking it down like a fraction. Lakers up at the half.
With the power of Dell AI, we push what technology can do. So,
Hey, just remember, hey, keep our pace up. Good pace, KD, all right?
Game changed when we started guarding down there, all right? Continue to guard, great shifts, great pursuit. Luka, that's a great defensive play, by the way. It's really good. It's one of your best.
All right, listen, just calm down, all right? Don't start pointing the finger, just play the game, all right?
Welcome back, everyone, to NBA Friday, presented by State Farm. In Los Angeles, the battle between the Lakers and the Clippers. A couple of teams been ready right from the tip to squabble up. Chris Dunn, who would have thought he'd be the leading scorer for the Clippers right now? Harden with 13. Meanwhile, James leading the way for the Lakers with 17. Doncic, the birthday boy, with 11. So far, he turns 26 today. Mark Jones, Corey Alexander, George Sedano joining us in just a bit. The Lakers looking for their 5th consecutive win. This on the second night of a back-to-back, but LeBron James showing no ill effects of that fatigue that's supposed to be hitting 40-year-olds.
You know, we talked about he averages close to 28 points per game throughout his career, and now 301 back-to-backs, the second game of those back-to-backs, and he's gotten off to a great start, 17 first-half points, but he's taken advantage of the mismatch and not having to use his size to do it. He's been able to take guys off the bounce and, more importantly, get to that mid-range and find his sweet spot, raising up over the top of defenders, knocking down shots from the outside of the paint.
James with 17 in the first half, Doncic with 11. Lakers playing without Rui Hachimura tonight, and as George Sedano reported a little bit earlier, Austin Reeves out for the remainder of the game. Gabe Vincent getting the start here in the third quarter.
And
how does that impact them, Corey?
Well, it impacts them because Vincent's nowhere near the shooter nor playmaker that is Austin Reeves. But it's interesting that JJ went that route. I would have thought it would have been Dalton Connect to be a guy to be a finisher and space the floor with LeBron and Luka both being on the court at the time.
Dunn, catch and shoot three, tipped up by Zubats underneath. Finney Smith wrestling it away from him. And we're going to have a jump ball between those two.
And Zubac frustrated that he missed that initial tip where it was just him by himself, the ball coming off. And then when it comes down, of course, it gives smaller players, which everyone on the floor is smaller than Zubac, gives them an opportunity to tie him up, force the jump ball.
But that was a snapshot of the type of tenacity you get from Finney Smith, something that J.J. Redick says, and these are his words, changed our season.
That's 757. That's Portsmouth. Mom Desiree don't play that. All right. So you know exactly what's going on with Dodo.
Well knocked out of bounds. George Sedano has more. George.
Jonesy, I spoke to Clippers assistant coach Brian Shaw about adjustments at halftime. He said they've got to keep the Lakers off the glass. It led to 2 direct three-pointers in that second quarter. They also, on offense, have to be more in control in regards to the turnovers. They gave up some costly turnovers that led to some easy buckets that Ty Lue was not happy with. And they got to play at a faster pace. He feels like when they play slow, they're playing right into their hands defensively.
Oh, that time a shot clock violation. Result of maybe a little too purposeful and methodical. That's the 8th turnover now for them. Come back the other way to the Lakers, just underway here in the third quarter. Ty Lue, one of the most enterprising coaches on the sidelines in the league. He is one of the elite ones in the NBA.
He absolutely is. Of course, won a championship in 2016 with LeBron James, who he's competing against tonight. But of course, those two very close. Also won a gold medal together over the summer. So Ty Lue loving to connect with the team. We talked with him about that experience with the Olympic team earlier this year, and he just glowed about how much he enjoyed that experience and being able to spend that time with USA Basketball. And of course, coming down to the wire, Steph Curry making threes and get to be friends with all those guys instead of competitors.
How about that? Doncic at the free throw line. And here's our NBA Saturday primetime game on ABC and ESPN+. The Warriors play the second game of a 5-game East Coast road trip in Philadelphia against the 76ers. Coverage tips with NBA Countdown at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Steph Curry, always fun to watch. I'm interested to see what he does on the heels of that 56-point game, the second highest total this year, I believe, behind De'Aaron Fox, who had a 60-piece as a member of the Kings earlier this year. Jones lost the handle, looking for a foul. Here's LeBron in transition. Into the corner, Finney-Smith. Out to Luka for three. On the show and go. Got hung up in the air, and here's Chris Dunn. Always in the middle of it. Jones filling the lane and flying charter.
And Derrick Jones Jr. upset about the fact that he missed out on a dunk on a previous possession, lost the basketball on his way up. Gets it back and is able to finish it off on the next one.
He's got 5 in the ball game. Vincent over Zubac. Well, maybe that's why that J.J. Redick went with Gabe Vincent.
That could very well be the case, but how about this throw-ahead pass from James Harden? No dribbles, just throws it 80 feet to find Zubac under the basket, who was able to get down the floor and seal on Vincent.
What a dime. 12 points in the ball game, 6 rebounds for Big Zoo. Vincent. Zubac stayed down in the fake. And now they call Zubac into the ball screen action. LeBron threw it up for Hayes, never made it. Leonard on the break. Went through Luka. That's going to be a blocking foul against Doncic.
And Luka wants to review it, but we've got to see where his feet were on that possession.
Looked like he may have been inside the restricted area.
And I know J.J. Redick is going to review it. They're going to challenge, so Luka does get outside.
Yep.
And J.J. got a great chance of winning this one. Kawhi initiated the contact. He absolutely made sure to make the contact there, lowering the shoulder. That may be reversed when we return.
Yep.
ESPN Bet is the official sportsbook of ESPN. Get in on trending parlays, daily profit boost, and exclusive talent markets all season.
Officials still adjudicating the call at the monitor. Meanwhile, the call on the floor was a foul against Luka Doncic on this drive by Kawhi Leonard. And we're going to get the results here from Zach Zarba in a quick second. Zach Zarba, crew chief.
After review, because the offensive player catches the ball outside the lower defensive box, the defender must give him time and distance to avoid contact. Therefore, the ruling on the floor stands as a blocking foul. Unsuccessful challenge.
The lower defensive box. That's the key there.
Yeah, which I learned about in my last game about the lower defensive box, why there was no longer a continuation if it was outside of the lower defensive box. So you see Luka Doncic getting over there. We all felt like that would be an offensive foul. However, Zach Zarba letting us know that's why he does this and we don't.
Saw Zach in the hotel room gym today, though. He is on his stuff.
He absolutely was. I was there at the same time, and I asked him, I said, should you be doing all of this pregame? He said, this is why I need a nap. And I always agree with the nap.
Well, he wasn't sleeping on that call, that's for sure. Leonard at the free throw line, 8 points in the ball game so far, and 3 of 7 from the field. Leonard, as I mentioned earlier, is playing his 18th game of the season. The Clippers are 11-6 in the previous 17. Vanderbilt sets the screen for Doncic. They put Zubac in the ball screen action. James raising up and well defended by the Clippers as a group. They've got numbers coming back, a 5-on-4. Harden inside to Dunn at the dunker spot. Chris Dunn off the mark. Doncic running a little angle pick and roll. Got Zubac. Kicks it back out to Finney-Smith. Shot clock at 7. Doncic is going to be way off on that one.
Yeah, from our angle, you can see that was wide right as soon as it left his hand. And Luka just not shooting the basketball with a lot of confidence from beyond the three-point arc.
They're trying to find his rhythm. Leonard had his defender on his hip, had him in jail, and got the bucket. Kawhi with 11.
That might have been solitary confinement. That wasn't even just jail. I'm not sure. Could not get back in front of Kawhi, allowing him to go at his own pace.
Zubac's on LeBron on the switch. Finney Smith in the corner. LeBron with 8 on the shot clock, pulls the 3 and laces it. James with 20.
Since turning 40, is shooting 44% from 3.
Come on now.
His game continues to, just like a fine wine, it gets better with time.
Harden out top. Finney Smith on him. Active hands. 4 on the clock. Got to get busy with it. That one short. Vincent with a rebound. 1 and done for the Clippers. James scanning, finds Doncic. Hayes with the ball screen. They search out Zubac, and that's going to be a foul inside, and that's going to be Dunn's 4th foul.
Kawhi Leonard absolutely locks up Dorian Finney-Smith, now allowing him to get back in front, goes to the mid-range, little push shot. And then LeBron on the other end. He's had his way in isolation against Zubac, and this time decides to just square it up and knock down another 3 on the evening.
James averaging over 26 points per game since turning 40 years old.
His numbers are up from turning 40.
A long 2 comes off to Dunn. So Ty Lue's going to leave Chris Dunn in the ball game with 4 personal fouls. Zubac's inside. And got the jump hook to go. What a great find by Harden. 14 for Zubac.
And Zubac does a great job giving Harden a target, letting him know, getting a hand up, that he's got a mismatch, which he's going to have a mismatch with everyone in the Lakers lineup.
Hayes couldn't find the mark. Zubac with the rebound. Clippers with a chance to get it down to a 2-point game. Harden on the drive by Hayes with the block. Doncic draws the foul on Jones, his former teammate. That's going to be his 2nd.
Surprised that James Harden went with the traditional left-hand layup here, going up against a shot blocker in Hayes. Normally you see Harden recognizing when a defender's coming over, getting that high off the glass, and not allowing a shot blocker to get a hand on his basketball.
Tell me your thoughts, Corey, about the Lakers and their 5 spot. Do they have enough there to get to where they want to go?
Well, one of the things we know that, styles make fights. So when you consider the matchups of who they could play against in the playoffs, against most of the teams in the West, the answer is no, they don't have enough. But there are specific matchups where they could be successful, even with their lack of depth at this 5 spot.
Well, Jamison in now with the 5 spot, got the block. And done with yet another larcenous act of steal and room service at the other end by Harden. Chris Dunn, there feels like there's 3 of them out there.
It really does. I mean, he's been such a difference maker. But you mentioned Ty Lue leaving him in the game with those 4 fouls, and this is the reason why. They're just a better team with him on the floor, even on the offensive end tonight.
That was his 3rd steal. Doncic out to the corner.
But look at that, Jonesy.
Chris Dunn again. Leonard on the break, bounced it off of Goodwin's face and got the bucket. Hit him in the mask. And we're knotted at 67.
And Chris Dunn has changed this game in the 3rd quarter with his defensive presence. Getting in, getting a hand on the basketball, taking it away, throws it up to James Harden, allows him to get the easy layup. But then here, not allowing himself to rest defensively off the basketball. The deflection allows Derrick Jones Jr. to pick it up, get it ahead to Kawhi Leonard. Now with an opportunity for a 3-point play for Kawhi. And just like that, the Clippers can take a lead with Kawhi at the free throw line.
Los Angeles Clippers playing in the building that they called home for some 25 years. And boy, Chris Dunn leading the way at both ends of the floor, George.
Jonesy, Corey, let's not forget Ty Lue wasn't shy with us about his praise for Chris Dunn in the pregame. When we asked him, Corey, you were specifically asking him where he ranked amongst perimeter defenders, and he said top 2.
Yeah.
And, you know, he said it's basically him and Lou Dort are the 2 most destructive forces on the ball, on the perimeter, and he has put him tonight at the top of the key and making sure to blow up the defense there at the point of attack.
Chris Dunn is doing a great job. He is in the Lakers' face like acne tonight. Boy, what a game earlier tonight on ESPN in the first half of our doubleheader. As the Cavaliers beat the Celtics at TD Garden in Boston, the Stars really fulfilling their promise and potential tonight. Mitchell and Tatum were outstanding. Corey, I want to get your thought on what type of threat the Cavaliers are, even though Boston was missing a couple key pieces tonight.
The Cavs are a legitimate threat, and the reason being is because Kobe Altman and the staff and the brass with Cleveland went out and got the Andre Hunter at the trade deadline, which gives them a wing defender to go up against the likes of Jason Tatum, to go up against the likes of Jaylen Brown. And that, in my opinion, has made them much more of a contender.
Leonard forced that shot up, and that's going to be a foul, an offensive foul against Leonard. That's going to be his first.
And the Lakers doing a great job. Look at all the purple jerseys right there. As they say, Kawhi grabbed Luka on that possession.
Doncic at the offensive end, 13 points on just 4 of 13 shooting. Open on the wing, goes immediately off the catch, and he's rewarded with a couple of free throws. Chris Dunn is calling for a replay,
so here,
challenge.
Here's the reason why, because he's playing with 4 fouls.
That's 5.
And so Ty Lue looking at his back bench, and he's not going to challenge it.
Boy, that really forces Dunn, you would think, to turn down the aggression a little bit, right?
Well, he's going to have to go sit down at this point right now as we see Amir Coffey headed to the scores table. And, of course, Coffey, who had 20 points the last time out.
Well, here's our NBA Sunday Showcase matchup on ABC. The Nuggets finish up their 4-game road trip in Boston. We were talking about then a moment ago against the Celtics. Coverage tips with NBA Countdown at 12:30 Eastern time. In that game last year, Denver went into Boston and won that one. It was Jamal Murray that made a bunch of key buckets in that game. I remember calling that game, and boy, he's really turned up of late.
He really has, and again, that's part of the reason why the Nuggets have been on such a tear. And about Michael Malone said he hasn't washed his underwear in over 2 weeks.
Is that a superstition thing?
I do believe so.
All right, believe that one. And off the partial block by Doncic, it'll be Clipper basketball out of bounds with 12 seconds to go on the shot clock. Clippers shooting 6 of 23 from deep. It'll be baseline out of bounds. Leonard to trigger. Goodwin all over Harden. 7 on the shot clock. Great pocket pass to Zubac, and his jump hook finds the rim.
But Jonesy, you learned as a young player, don't throw bounce past the big guys, throw it up. But look at the trust that Harden and Zubac have together with each other to be able to drop those passes in tight spaces.
Been a work of art so far tonight and all season. Vanderbilt off the loose foul and rebounded by Harden. Zubac's hit to the head to Coffey. One more to Kawhi for 3. Boy, that's a feathery touch by Kawhi Leonard.
Or is that more of a home court bounce for a guy who's played here quite a few times, Jonesy?
They still might have a couple keys to the gym, Corey. You never know. First Clipper lead since it was 25-24 for the Clippers. Doncic makes it a 1-point lead. And a steal by Goodwin. And the Lakers have reclaimed the advantage.
And we talk about why he has gained trust with J.J. Redick, is plays like that, energy plays, effort plays, that only guys that come in undrafted give you.
Harden working on Doncic.
See a step back coming.
Oh, second side action by Jones. Got peeled clean. It's a 2-on-1. Goodwin with Luka. Connect the trailer. Tipped up, no good. Harden has it go to Jones. Zubats picking cherries at the other end. They didn't find him in time. He's got a mismatch. Now double team. Coffee pulls the three. And here's Luka. 1-point lead for the Lakers. James getting ready to check into the ball game. And that's going to be a foul against the Clippers. And that's going to put Doncic at the free throw line.
Luka Doncic able to get downhill and gets his easiest bucket of the night. But Jordan Goodwin doing the job defensively, coming up with the steal, turning his defense into offense. And his effort has been applauded here by the crowd at Crypto.com.
Yeah, he's had some good moments, Corey, for the Lakers. Jordan Goodwin, 6'5", out of St. Louis. Undrafted back in 2021. Signed a two-way deal back on February the 7th. As James comes back into the ball game for the Lakers, Simmons in for Ty Lue and the Clippers. Ron comes back in with 20 on the heels of a 33-point performance less than 24 hours ago. Bogdan Bogdanovic comes in as well for the Clippers. Luka knocks down the second one. A 76% free throw shooter.
But Jonesy, look at Goodwin. He's up, and again, he's only up there to make sure he continues to put pressure on James Harden as Ben Simmons comes in and can be more of a playmaker to help with the ball handling responsibility.
They got Luka on him at the dunker spot. Bogdanovic around the screen for three. And it's rebounded by James. Surveys to connect. Doncic out front, working against former All-NBA defensive team player Simmons. Luka on the drive, got it! And he lets out one of those primal screams that J.J. Redick is encouraging him to get his mojo and swag back.
And these are the type of plays that Luka Doncic has used to haunt the Clippers throughout his career. Averages 32.7 points per game throughout his career against the Los Angeles Clippers, and now starting to find a rhythm here offensively in the third.
2:21 to go. Lakers lead is up to 4. Doncic with 20 of the ball game on 6 of 15. Shooting his 9th and 10th free throws tonight. The Clippers as a squad have shot just 7.
Similar to the performance last night, with the 3 guys in LeBron, Austin Reeves, and Luka made just as many threes.
We're going to have a whistle and a foul staying at this end. Off the Bogdanovic miss. It'll be Clipper basketball.
Forgive me, that trio made as many free throws as the Wolves attempted last night, and a huge disparity in free throw shooting tonight as well.
Foul's going to go against Dalton Connect, Corey. Simmons trigger sideline out of bounds.
The rookie just trying to make a crafty play. You got to understand that he's not getting away with that. He can't do the same things Bron and Luka get away with.
Harden back to Coffee. Lost the handle, back out to Harden, but a whistle underneath. And we're going to have another foul. And this is going to go against Doncic. That's going to be his 4th personal foul. And a rather pensive-looking J.J. Redick contemplating maybe a challenge.
Well, the Lakers don't have a challenge left because they lost a challenge earlier. But Luka coming in from that angle got a lot of basketball, but could have been some arm on that possession.
Coffee knocks down the first free throw.
And that's going to be 4 on Luka. Still 2:04 remaining in this third, something that we're going to have to keep an eye on.
He's the only Laker starter in foul trouble. They'll bring it up against Simmons. Bogdanovic picks him up on the switch. Goodwin from the corner. Good block out by Batum, and that's going to be a foul against the Lakers.
We saw
Jemison, yep.
We saw Jemison in the first half a couple times actually be able to root Batum under the basket, get that offensive rebound. Batum doing a much better job defensively there, boxing out, forcing Jemison to grab him with two hands and move him out of the way. But watch Nicholas Batum doing the job to try to keep Jemison off the glass on that possession after he got beat twice in the first half.
Batum at the free throw line, the member of the French national team. Boy, folks, if you haven't seen Court of Gold, which documents the journeys of the French, USA basketball, Canadian team, and Serbian team at the Olympics, that's a great must-watch. Hey, let's take a look at the upcoming national TV schedule. Tomorrow on ABC, Warriors Sixers, 8:30 Eastern time. Sunday on ABC, Nuggets Celtics at 1 Eastern over on NBA TV. Portland Cleveland at 3:30. Tuesday doubleheader, TNT Warriors Knicks, Clippers Suns. For one of these games, please go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app.
Jonesy, you mentioned the French national team, and when we had our game in Paris, had opportunity to eat dinner with Boris Diaw, who of course is the general manager of the French national team. And he talked about how close they are, and of course, absolutely the presence that it had as Jemison's unable to get the bucket to go, but how that just energized the entire country. And when I tell you, they love basketball in France, in Paris, that atmosphere was unbelievable to see when Victor Wembanyama was able to make the trip back home to play 2 NBA games.
Well, the great part about the documentary was the access, and inside the French locker room at one point, Nick Batum, usually very stoic, non-demonstrative, absolutely went off in French on his teammates at halftime of one of the early round games. I spoke to him before the game. I said, Nick, I've never seen that side of you. He goes, yeah, I wasn't sure, but had to get something off my chest when it counted, and he did.
Then he said he saw the trailer and realized he had to ask the question, wait, they had cameras in the locker room?
He's a big piece for Ty Lue, a real connector. And right now we have a 2-point game. Connect picks up Harden on the switch. 10 on the shot clock.
Look at the boxes and elbows. You think about the way that Lakers are guarding defensively. Allows Connect to put pressure on Harden, but helping everywhere else, forcing the Clippers to have to beat them from beyond the arc.
Goodwin back to James. Coffey picks him up. Bogdanovich now has James on the switch. Gonna try and walk him down to his spot. LeBron got the nice touch. And he's up to 22 on the night. The NBA's all-time leading scorer. And Harden hit the hydraulics. Tween, pulls it back again. And Vanderbilt got on the deck first. Came up with the loose ball, and that's going to be a foul against Harden. Vanderbilt with impenetrable, impregnable defense in that sequence.
And the Laker faithful so happy to have Vando back on the floor. Does the job defensively. You talked about James Harden trying to get into his bag. However, Jared Vanderbilt having nothing to do with that. Forcing the ball off Harden's foot, then diving on the floor. But more importantly, turning his back to Harden so he can't tie the basketball up. Force the jump ball and ends up getting the foul.
And at the other line, it'll be Vanderbilt with a couple of free throws. I think Harden might have been asking for a kick ball scenario, but well, you can't fault the effort and the hustle by Vanderbilt.
And Vanderbilt gives the Lakers an edge. You saw last night, Anthony Edwards' first technical foul was with Vanderbilt. They started jawing a little bit, but then you see after that possession right there, Vando and Ty Lue. Of course, Ty Lue is competitive as anybody you're going to see. I played against him for a long time, I know. And those two having a little exchange.
I always like when guys start bumping their gums a little bit. Makes things a little bit more spicy. 31.9 to go. 2-for-1 scenario perhaps for the Clippers. Bogdanovich in a rush with pace. Got blocked but fouled by Goodwin from behind. So Bogdanovich will go to the free throw line for a couple of shots. That's going to be the second foul on Goodwin, helped up by his teammates. You know, we were talking about Harden's leadership
and insights. He and Bogdanovich share a trainer in South Florida, Stan Remy, trains a lot of NBA players. Immediately upon Bogdanovich being acquired by the Clippers, Harden called said trainer and said, hey, tell me about Bogdanovich. Where does he like the ball? How does he like to catch it? Where are the best areas of the court where he's most proficient and productive? And Harden was taking copious notes from Stan Remy on how to make his teammate better.
And you see a lot more of that throughout the game, but as you mentioned, that's the leadership of James Harden. Steph Curry did the exact same thing when they made the trade for Jimmy Butler. He just called his Olympic teammate Bam Adebayo to find out some details. So when you think about that, this is the way this fraternity is connected, allowing them to be better on the court.
Great ones really care. LeBron with a long outlet. Connect on the connection. That is becoming a norm here for the Lakers.
It really is, but it starts with having elite rebounders and passers like LeBron James, like Luka Doncic, where you can turn that into offense.
3 seconds to go for Harden. Over Vanderbilt. Didn't connect with iron at all, and that's the end of the third quarter play. The Lakers and James leading by 6. James with 22.
And not only scoring, but also continues to distribute as he's done his entire career.
If I'm here with J.J. Redick, the head coach of the Lakers. You didn't have Hachimura coming in. You lose Reeves. How have those guys that have filled in for them fared thus far?
Our bench has been awesome. Their energy changed the game in the first half, and once again in the second half, Jordan Goodwood's been everywhere.
You guys had a strong finish there to the third quarter. How do you carry that over to try to finish it off?
We just have to be smart with our execution on the offensive end. When we've been organized and gotten to our correct spacing, we've got good stuff.
JJ, good luck. Thank you. Thanks. All right, guys, back to you.
Point Laker lead. Vincent into the front court. Bogdanovich now with 6 points. James off the elbow, guarded by Simmons. Batum picks him up on the switch. 7 on the shot clock. James got to get busy, drives baseline, got it off glass.
And LeBron's done a great job of getting his shoulders past defenders. And, you know, Ty Lue was upset about Bron getting to the rim in the first quarter. But what can you really do about that?
Leonard with the line drive, midi is short. Luka begins this fourth quarter on the bench. James thought about it from deep. Relocates against Simmons. Wilson pulled 2 with him. James chases down his own miss. Clear out the side of the floor. Gonna walk down Simmons, the sweeping hook. Hey, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is cheering somewhere.
Absolutely. You've got to love Bron bringing out all the different tools in his bag.
Can I say that's old man game right there?
Oh, it absolutely is.
Bogdanovich, couple crosses on Jamison. Cross court to Leonard, got elbowed in the face inadvertently by Vanderbilt. Well, this Battle of Los Angeles getting a little bit physical. Take one more look at what happened on that last sequence.
Kawhi gets Vando in the air with the pump fake, and so trying to sweep through, catches the elbow to the head. Jared Vanderbilt immediately going over. Of course, didn't mean to do that.
Leonard got open, being physical back, but Vanderbilt with the defensive board. 7-point Clipper lead. Pardon me, Laker lead. Ron gonna go to work on Amir Coffey.
You see Zubac coming over, trying to help, forcing the turnover from Bron.
Looked like it slipped out of his hands. Coffey sprays it out to Leonard. Good closeouts by the Lakers. Zubac the trailer. Oh! Tried to punch it on Jamison and take his soul to the hole. Wow. It's going to be a blocking foul against the Lakers. Big Zoo with big intentions here.
And you love the aggressiveness that Zubac attacks the rim with. He was bringing out, that's a little bit Lob City Clippers right there. Zubac going back to his DeAndre Jordan, Blake Griffin days.
Zoo trying to get some big air.
Of course, Zoo was a Laker back then, around that time.
Missing on the first. Zubac at the free throw line, a
63% free throw shooter. That's just his first foul shot of the night. As Finney Smith will come into the ball game for the Lakers. Vanderbilt will go to the bench for J.J. Redick. Zubac's averaging 15 and 13 on the season, a career year. And Ty Lue has used him much more this year as a closer, showing ultimate increased trust in him too, Corey.
Well, and he helps you on both ends of the floor. Of course, we know he protects the rim defensively, but offensively, he gives them that lob threat, gives them a weapon that you can play through on the post.
Boy, Simmons being physical with James. Zubac switches on to LeBron. Sidestep three on the way. That's going to be off. Leonard didn't see Zubac on the run. That's going to be a foul against Connect. That's the second team foul against the Lakers, third personal on Connect. It'll be sideline out of bounds.
Jones, I have a rule. And you know this in pickup. When there's someone reaching in, if the ball goes up in the air, it's a foul.
Yes.
If the ball goes straight down to the ground, now you got it right. But if the ball goes up in the air, it's a foul. You had to have gotten their arm or wrist or something to force the ball to go up. It's simple physics.
Hey, now we got a C+ in that.
I never took it.
Kawhi Leonard had all the angles and geometry covered on that bucket.
There you go.
Kawhi with 18. James off that midcourt screen. Vincent one more to Finney Smith. Got it.
The confidence of Dorian Finney-Smith. When he came out of high school, Jonesy, everyone says if he learns to shoot, he's an NBA player. Well, he did, and he is.
Undrafted out of Florida after first attending Virginia Tech. Zubac with that jump hook over Jemison, who has nothing. He can't do anything with Big Zoo right now, who's got 19.
And that's that luxury Ty Lue has to be able to have a guy you can feature in the post.
They hunt out Zubac and get him on the switch. Vincent from the wing for three. Zubac with another board. Boy, it's been an impressive night for the big Croatian center. 19 and 9 on the evening. Looking inside for Leonard, batted away by Finney Smith. The baseline of the bound, Clippers ball.
Kawhi Leonard attacking the paint once again and having the touch to be able to finish around the rim, and then Zubac just going to the jump hook. We don't see it often, however, still effective when you have guys that play with their back to basket on the post.
Goes right at Hayes. There's that jump hook. Proficient again with it. Up to 21. And here come the Clippers within 3.
Very few guys you see posting, especially 5 men in the game, but Zubac showing the reason why you should have one.
Stayed down on that Doncic fade right there. They are really calling him up into actions to isolate him. Zubac's moving his feet on Luka. Got a hand up and got the stop and the rebound.
That's the thing. It's not just the fact that he's getting stops. He's also finishing the defensive possession with the rebound as well.
Go, go!
Leonard pulls. Whistle and a foul is going to go against Doncic. And if it's against Luka, it will be his 5th. Wow.
Luka looks like he got a couple scratches on his face throughout this game, but you see the closeout, and that as he gets underneath Kawhi, look at Luka's left foot, and Kawhi pulls that foot back. But that rule was put into place because of Kawhi Leonard. When you remember the series against Golden State, which really changed the fortunes of the NBA, because the Spurs at that time had Golden State on the ropes.
Take one more look at it.
Kawhi pulls the right foot back, but that left foot of Luka is underneath, does not allow him to land safely.
And they're saying it's is it 3 shots for Kawhi Leonard. They did not review it for a reckless closeout. And a flagrant penalty run. Boy, Leonard missing his first 2 free throws. Just 1 of 5 now from the free throw line. Man, you got to finish your breakfast in a close game like this. The Lakers, though, with 14 fouls at 7:33 to go. Clippers don't have any team fouls. Kawhi finally connects and makes it a 2-point contest.
But more importantly, the 5 on Luka Doncic, and you can expect for Ty Lue, and especially James Harden, to seek out Luka Doncic on the defensive end and go at him, because he will try to play without foul.
Luka working against Bogdanovic here. That's going to be a foul against Bogey.
That move. That's knowing that a call went against you on the other end. A lot of conversation about it. All you got to do is put your head down, go to the rim. You're going to absolutely get the call.
Cash in that coupon with Zach Zarba.
You knew exactly what was going to happen when Doncic goes to the basket. Of course, Bogdanovic doesn't hurt the cause at all by wrapping that right arm around Luka.
They actually called that on Zubac, who was in the area as well, Corey.
Really?
Yeah, that's going to be his third. Luka not having another great shooting night, to 6 of 16 from the field. And here's our NBA Saturday primetime game on ABC and ESPN+. Golden State Warriors playing in the second game of a 5-game East Coast road trip in Philadelphia against the 76ers. Coverage tips with NBA Countdown at 8 Eastern time.
Jonesy, you talked about that earlier. What does Steph Curry do to back up that 56?
Man.
You mentioned the De'Aaron Fox 60, and Fox had 49 the next time out. So I'm going to go with that being 109. I can do math.
Okay.
So right now, we need Steph to at least have 53.
53?
Yes, got to get at least 53 tomorrow night.
I want a double nickel. Give me 55.
Okay.
Bogdanovic for 3, rims out. Leonard trying to get a hold of it. Batted out of bounds by Simmons.
It'll be Laker basketball with 7:04 to go.
But you got to love the play by Kawhi Leonard, getting in there, chasing down that offensive rebound, trying to get the basketball back as Chris Dunn with the 5 fouls now checks back into the game.
Chris Dunn has been tenacious and a menace defensively again tonight for the Clippers, but giving them scoring as well with 14 points. He had to sit down in that third quarter when he picked up his 5th foul with a few minutes to go. Doncic into the front court, guarded by Simmons. Luka playing with 5 fouls. Zubac trying to guard the step 3, and Luka Doncic getting to his spot. Ty Lue calls timeout. He's seen this movie before.
He absolutely has. Luka Doncic has had more success against the Clippers than he has against any team in his career. And this 3-ball gives his squad a 7-point lead.
The NBA on ESPN.
How are you? I'm Scott Van Pelt here in the nation's capital, getting set for SportsCenter. We'll bring you live reaction from this game. Also a monster comeback in Boston for the Cavaliers. What Nikola Jokic did to the Pistons to stop their winning streak. And some moves in the NFL, big ones. Matthew Stafford going to stay right there in L.A., where Jonesy and Corey got a good one going.
Oh, yeah. It's starting to get really hot. The Clippers got it close to within 90 to 88, but Luka taking over, scoring the last 5 for the Lakers, who lead by 7. Go to the midway point of the fourth quarter. Zubac off the elbow. Here's Harden. Fly in the mid-range against Gabe Vincent. That one rims out, though. Had a great look at it, Corey.
He really did. And that's finished Kawhi Leonard. That's getting to that mid-post, going to work, just unable to get that touch to go.
Another step back by Luka. That's 2 in a row. Happy birthday, Luka Doncic. He scored the last 8 straight. That's going to be a kick ball on the pocket pass.
Well, there's only so much opportunities you can give Luka Doncic, and he's been able to play one-on-one against those matchups, the mismatches throughout the night, and now they're starting to go in his favor. He struggled in isolation in the first half, but back-to-back possessions where he's won the matchup against Zubac.
Harden with a great pass to Dunn, sprays it out to Jones for 3. Great execution for the Clippers. Got the lead back down to 7, under 6 minutes to go.
And Jones, forgive me, Dunn doing a great job on a short roll and recognizing he's amongst the trees, kicking it out to Derrick Jones Jr.
How do the Clippers counteract them searching out Zubac all the time on these plays as they almost turn it over? Luka, a logo 3. Missed everything that time.
Well, you saw the adjustment off of the screen. That time there was no switch. They actually blitzed him on that one. Derrick Jones Jr. going over, getting the basketball out of his hands. And we know that Ty Lue absolutely has that in his package. He's been dealing with Luka and this since the bubble. And I know you were there to call those games.
He knows the scouting report. Zubac with a great catch in traffic and the slam. And the lead is down to 5. Zubac with 23.
And it's easier right now to be able to blitz Luka with no LeBron on the floor. LeBron James at the scorer's table, ready to come back in on the next dead ball. But look at the trap all the way out to half court.
Take it out of his hands. Here's Hayes. Gabe Vincent with 8 on the shot clock around the Hayes screen. Finney Smith pulls, and it comes off to Zubac. So the strategy by Ty Lue pays off. Harden drew the foul on the 3. A cagey, sage move by the Beard will put him on the line for 3.
And it was about a 7 to 8 year stretch in Houston where James Harden absolutely lived at the free throw line. And this is the way he does it. He just recognizes, Jackson Hayes, you stick your hand out there, I'm going to take advantage of you. Teams have, and the league really has guarded differently because of the tear that James Harden went through, because you had to pretty much play with your hands back. So if anytime he sees a defender stick their hand in there, he's going to take advantage of it.
Harden with 16 after that free throw. Does have 9 assists and 5 rebounds. And really has been a wonderful leader for this Clippers team as LeBron tries to check into the ball game. Harden an all-star this year. Second one on the way. They can get this down to a single bucket. As Coffey comes into the ball game for Leonard with 5:01 to go, you would think, Corey, we would see Kawhi again.
I believe so. I believe right now, even though they're going to play him on limited minutes, I think we will most likely see him to finish the game.
Well, he's up to 35 right now. Close to the edge.
Yeah.
Oh, what a tough thing to have to deal with.
It really is, especially the competitor that he is, that Ty Lue is, and you want to have him on the floor as much as you possibly can. But as you mentioned, you've got to think the long game with Kawhi Leonard to do everything you can to make him available at playoff time.
Dunn picks up Doncic. Luka got all the way to the rim, missed the layup. No whistle. They've got numbers the other way. Vincent with a steal, and Luka with room service at the other end. Lead is back up to 4.
And just a blown opportunity by the Clippers there. They had an advantage 5-on-4, but end up turning it over and allowing Luka to get the easy bucket.
James Harden wanted to kick ball, won't get it. Vincent in transition with the lay. Ty Lue calls timeout. A puzzled and perplexed James Harden wondering why there wasn't a kick ball called here.
Well, is it because the kick has to be intentional? That looks pretty close to intentional if you're Gabe Vincent, but you turn into points on the other end.
Going to show you the reason why James Harden was incensed a moment ago. By rule, this should have been a kick ball on Gabe Vincent. And in transition, he got an easy layup, Corey.
He did, and of course, kicked it to himself. And did a great job of keeping it in bounds. You would have to think that Gabe Vincent has a little soccer in his background on that one. The soft kick to be able to put it in place to where only he could go get it and lay it up.
I know he hooped at UC Santa Barbara. I don't know if he was on the soccer team. Zubac double teamed. And on the kick out, knocked out of bounds by Finney Smith. 8 on the shot clock for Chris Dunn and the Clippers. It worked expeditiously. Harden with the floater, left it short. Let's call it a pass to Zubac. He missed the jump hook.
But just like we saw with Luka earlier, James Harden didn't get the call he wanted, Jonesy. If he continues to go in instead of the floater and just takes the contact, he's at the free throw line right now. And James, the veteran, knows better than to let the referees off the hook on that possession.
Finney Smith, LeBron relocates for the 3. It's short. Here's Harden. Clippers down by 6. Has Hayes in transition on the cross match, on the blow by, tipped up by Zubac and in. Zubac now with 25.
And a great job by Zubac just cleaning up the mess right there. And there you see the challenge for the Lakers moving forward, even with their biggest player, Jackson Hayes, on the floor, trying to keep opposing bigs off the offensive glass.
No switch on that ball screen action. Pocket pass to Finney Smith. Tipped up out of bounds off of Hayes. It'll be Clipper ball. 12 turnover for the Lakers.
When you have guards attacking the basket, now you see Hayes, and going for the block shot is going to allow Zubac to be able to go in and get an easy one. Also see Luka Doncic, who is responsible for keeping Zubac off the glass, playing with 5 fouls. Can't risk putting a body on Zubac on that possession.
Harden trying to get downhill, rips through. Got peeled clean, lost control. And we're gonna have a jump ball on the play with, looks like Hayes and Harden or Hayes and Zubac.
It was 2 different Clippers that got their hand on the basketball, but give Gabe Vincent a lot of credit. James Harden attacking Luka Doncic. All Doncic can do is get out of his way, but Vincent coming back in, getting a hand on that basketball, knocking it away from Harden, saves his team 2 points.
So let's see who steps to the circle. Is it Harden or Zubac, as you mentioned?
Oh,
had their hands on.
If I'm Zubac, I'm standing there. They got to make me move.
Oh, looks like it's going to be Harden.
But again, when you go to the jump circle, Zubac should have just gone there immediately and allowed Harden to stand on the outside and force the officials to make the change.
Well, it worked out that way. Dunn on Doncic, lost it. And it'll be Laker basketball on the turnover.
Another miscue. Go back to the possession where there was 5 on 4 and a turnover. Now Chris Dunn with Luka Doncic playing with 5 fouls. All he has to do is go in his chest, force the foul, or get the easy bucket.
Dunn picks up Luka on the switch. Luka around the world. Dunn stayed down on the fake, and they get the miss and the defensive rebound. Wonderful defense again by Chris Dunn. Luka now 9 of 22. Harden out top. Under 2.5 to go. They show him 2 bodies. And he lost it again. LeBron filling the lane. James with 28. And this Laker team is lethal in transition.
Yeah, another turnover. James Harden giving up the basketball, and then Luka Doncic finding LeBron James. Great hands and the strength to finish through the contact for a 6-point lead.
Com Arena, the 3rd meeting of the season between the Clippers and the Lakers. Right now, the Lakers, the quote-unquote home team, leading 104-98. Mark Jones courtside along with Corey Alexander, George Sedano as well. 2:13 to go. What do the Clippers have to do here? They've turned it over 17 times.
They have, and back-to-back 6 turnover games for James Harden, who's normally shorthanded with the rock.
They double team Leonard. Get it out of his hands to Harden from deep. Loose ball comes to Jones. Harden gonna dial up another one. That one comes off too, and this time Hayes secures the rebound. Got it to Vincent, and now Doncic.
2 great looks for Harden, though, when you think about his ability to knock down the 3-ball, unable to get either one of them to go and make it a 1-possession game.
Doncic at midcourt. Dunn picks up on the switch.
Derrick Jones Jr. holding that shoulder, took a bump.
Hayes inside.
But Jonesy, Derrick Jones Jr. did something to his shoulder. Normally, he would have gotten over there and tried to contest that and left the 3-point shooter, but was dragging that right arm on that possession.
The lead is up to 8. Leonard with a quick catch and shoot 3. Rims out to Harden. Drives it. Zubac with the offensive rebound and putback. With Hayes laying on the court. Lead is down to 6. And Jones picking up his former teammate Doncic. Full court. Zubac with a great night, 27 and 17. Season high for him. 10 on the shot clock for Doncic, who's had a big 4th quarter. Finney Smith thought about it, over to Vincent for 3, and it comes off to Harden. Clippers alive. Kawhi in traffic. Put his shoulder into Finney Smith and got it. And it's just down to 4.
It's a 4-point game. More than enough time for the Clippers. Going to need to get a defensive stop on this possession.
Jones on Doncic. Jones tipped it out of bounds.
I believe
Shot clock down to 11.
I believe they may want to look at that one. That happened right in front of us. And they need to look at this.
Yeah, Ty Lue's going to challenge.
But look at Derrick Jones Jr. with the great hands. But let's see, does this touch Luka Doncic's knee on the way out?
That is off of Luka.
And we got a great look at that. It happens right in front of us. Going to be interesting what the officials decide when we return.
Ruling on the floors, Laker basketball. The Clippers are challenging the ruling.
Last play on the court being challenged by the Clippers.
Clippers coaching challenge a moment ago by Ty Lue. Here's one angle where it looks like it goes off of Luka's leg. But folks, we have the benefit of multiple angles. Look at this one. That does not appear to touch Luka's leg at all.
It does not, but my eyes playing tricks on me right there. I just knew that was off Luka's knee on the first one. But now here's the question. Does it touch Luka's left hand after Derrick Jones Jr. gets his hand off the basketball? Once Jones Jr. gets his hand on the rock, look at this. But who touched it last? It still looks as though Luka does.
After review, the ruling on the floor has been overturned to Clipper basketball. The hand is part of the basketball when in contact with the basketball. Therefore, there is no proximate foul on the play. It's Clipper basketball with 25.4 on the game clock.
And there's the key, no proximate foul on the play either. Because when they go through challenges now, one of the new rule changes is you can call a foul if it forces the out of bounds. So it'll be Clipper basketball. They're down for 25.4 to go if you're the Clippers. What are you thinking offensively? Harden missed his last 2 threes. Kawhi scored the last bucket.
Honestly, Jonesy, at this point, I want to go as quick as I can to Zubac. See if you can get him to seal right under the rim. Go finish strong.
Here's Kawhi. Off the brush screen. Got a clean look. And left it short. James with the rebound. And they're going to have to foul LeBron. LeBron will go to the foul line. A 77% free throw shooter on the season. And that's the 4th on Zubac. Boy, Leonard had a clean look.
He really did, but when you consider Kawhi 3 of 8 now from beyond the three-point arc, but each and every one of his shots has gotten flatter and flatter. And so that's the thing, the reason why I'm thinking you go right inside the Zubac, give him an opportunity to go up and dunk it, maybe even get an and one, but it saves so much time on the clock.
And a foul to give. It'll be sideline out of bounds, and LeBron James will call one of the Lakers' remaining timeouts. He's not going to take any chances. So J.J. Redick will draw up a sideline out of bounds play, and we'll be right back. Inventory in the Western Conference, the Lakers tied with Denver and Memphis in the loss column. Conceivably, number 2's not out of the question for them. The Clippers, meanwhile, being pursued by Golden State, amongst others, right on their heels. Laker basketball sideline out of bounds. Finney Smith to trigger. Lakers leading by 4. And we're going to have a foul. Uh-oh. James holding his right side and slow to get up.
Grimacing, holding the rib area. And again, when you have a hard time getting up like that, let's see if he takes a hit or if this is more of a twist. But coming across, catching the basketball, I think that's more of a twist.
Foul's going to go against the Clippers, and they didn't have any fouls to give. That's going to go against Leonard. And you know, we've all come to expect through the years that LeBron is virtually indestructible. I mean, he spoiled us through the years. There's a challenge on the floor as well. Clippers once again back at the monitor.
Clippers challenging whether this is a foul or not. They won their last challenge, so Ty Lue using this one. You may as well this late in the game. You got to use it, but LeBron coming across. It did seem to be contact there. But, I mean, once again, showing up on the second night of a back-to-back, 28 points, Luka with 31. And honestly, a little surprising that we saw Luka tonight. This is the first time he's played in the back-to-back, especially considering coming back from injury. But these dudes are hoopers.
Right.
They just want to hoop.
Right.
I mean, again, as we look at the replay once again, is there contact? I mean, you see the left arm of Kawhi coming across body, but was the ball already loose at that point? Is that incidental contact after the ball is knocked away? But you think about guys like LeBron James, like James Harden. You know, these dudes
just like playing.
They like the hoop, Jonesy.
Yeah.
You know, I watched Bron at Peach Jam in the summertime in layup lines with Bronny, with Bryce. You know, he's going to play at UCLA wherever there's bump. He's going to go to Jamal Crawford's Summer League in Seattle.
After review, Leonard makes legal contact with the basketball first, dislodging it from James. Therefore, the contact after was deemed marginal. Therefore, this is a successful challenge. Due to imminent possession, the Clippers will get the basketball on the sideline.
Wow, what about that? So, Clippers basketball, sideline out of bounds with 15.8 to go.
Yeah, we saw that, though.
Yeah.
We saw, watch when the basketball is knocked loose first. There is contact afterwards, but Kawhi had already knocked the basketball out of Bron's hands, which makes that contact incidental, and now gives the Clippers another opportunity to cut into this lead. No Zubac on the floor to look for something right under the basket.
Bogdanovich in the ball game for shooting purposes. As is Batum. Harden going to try and get downhill. Got to work expeditiously off the screen by Bogdanovich on the pick and pop. It looks good. Oh, it rattled halfway down and out, and that should do it. The Lakers will secure the victory and inch closer to that number 3 and even number 2 seed as Luka Doncic celebrates his 26th birthday with LeBron James by scoring 31 points. James with 28 to help out the Lakers as well. In the shadows of greatness, the Lakers win it 106-102. Folks, thanks for watching this Battle of Los Angeles. For Corey Alexander, George Sedano, and many talented people behind the camera you never get a chance to see. I'm Mark Jones. Coming up next, SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt.